Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Monday, January 11th, and I'm here for a regular, hopefully not 2-hour weekly stitching update. I posted my 2020 Whip Parade on Saturday night, I believe. I filmed it on Thursday and didn't get a chance to edit it all the way on Thursday. Didn't have any time to work on it on Friday, so I spent almost the entire day editing it, and then the whole evening saving and uploading. So it was a mammoth undertaking. Next year I will try to be less chit-chatty in between the transitions. I realized during these videos, these weekly videos, I want to try to minimize the editing, and so when I'm rolling up my fabric or looking up pattern covers or whatnot, I'm talking because I don't want to have to edit out any dead space. Well, when I'm showing 65 projects, I want to edit out dead space because it just ends up being really long, and then it's really hard to upload and all of that. So actually uploading didn't take as long as saving it in my program, but that's neither here nor there. So next year I'll try to remember that save my comments to the showing the piece and then don't talk in between, and then I can cut out dead space and it won't hopefully be 2 hours next time. But anyways, it's up for you now to enjoy, so I'm sorry or you're welcome, depending on whether or not you want to watch a 2-hour video. So if you don't want to sit through that, I won't be offended. But I know a lot of you like that long videos, so enjoy that if you want to. This video will hopefully be a lot shorter than that. So first off, I will do my giveaway. So last week I received an extra copy of the Prim Stitch series number 6, Home and Hearth, and I'm still slugging away at this house because I just don't have any time to work on it. But it is cute. So this is by Lori Holt of Be in My Bonnet, and you can find these on the Fat Quarter Shop. It is one of a series. So I got 61 unique comments that had the word home in them on the last video. So I will see who gets it. Viv's Crafts, yay! You comment a lot. I'm always home when I watch your weekly updates. So congratulations. I'm glad you won. It's fun to see familiar faces win things. So Viv's Crafts, you won this copy. So let me know. I guess I'll put my email up here, stitchinmommy7@gmail.com, and you can let me know your mailing address, and I will get this out to you in this week sometime. So woohoo, that's fun. All right, so stitching. What did I work on this week? Since we just showed that Prim Stitch series, I'll show you my progress, which is minimal. So here's my copy, and here is my progress from last week. Very little. I did a few rows down here in the grocery store pickup, waiting for that this morning, but I don't think I had a whole lot else this week, but maybe I did a little bit of this side. I'm not sure. This is on all the called for stuff. It's got the 25 count Prim vintage cloth and all the RE floss colors. You can see they have RE floss and DMC listed on the pattern. I am doing mine 1/1 and converting a few bits and bobs here and there to specialty stitches just for fun. So there's mine, and I think I'm getting the next one in the mail today, so I'm pretty far behind on this, but that's okay. Life has been super busy. I have things piled up so high, I don't even know where to start sometimes, of things I should be doing in my free time. And I allow myself time to stitch on personal things in the evening just because it helps stay sane in the midst of all the craziness. So I do have stitching to show you because I give myself that time in the evening to kind of relax and unwind. But extra time, well, like this one, if I work on it, we just haven't had extra time in front of the TV lately when I might normally be working on it. But we may do that again. Like if we watch another episode of BattleBots this week, then I can work on it during that. things like that. So I might get some more time on it, but it just hasn't been as much as usual. Also, I worked on my temperature typography in the car on the way to church yesterday, which will not always be the case, because I'm going to finish a letter at a time. So like yesterday, I could finish my A and start the N if I wanted to, but I'm going to wait to start the N until I have all the days needed for the N. So I won't necessarily be working on it always on Sundays. So there could be times in the car on Sundays that I could work on the Prim Stitch series. So it's just going to be a little bit different this year, but that's okay. That's kind of the way it goes. So I did get a little bit done on my typography, and it's looking pretty fun. So here is where it's at now. And this is a very pale blue I was gifted. It's 28 count, and that's my start. I have, the first 2 days were the same color, and then I had another shade, a shade change here, and then another one here, and then this is 2 colors, but they're alternating the weather, and warmer. But it got up to, the highs were low 70s on these days, and these are more highs of 60s. And I think we got in some more 60s over here again too. It's been cooling off a little bit, but as you notice, like my mock-up in 2017 had a lot of 50s. These purples are 50s in the highs. So it is a warmer January so far than it was then. So that's fun. I am happy with that. I did see, Alyssa, I think, from Stitching in the Cabin. She is working on this year, and she decided to work on just a scrap piece of fabric that was lying around that was 40 count, and it's dark blue, and she's gonna do it 1/1. And it's so cute. So I love that. That's gonna be really fun. You're braver than I am though. Like, you're doing full crosses on 40 count, which on 1/1 which is really thick, but it can be done, especially something like this with a lot of white space. So I think you'll have fun with that. And then the other one I saw recently that was a good idea was a Crafted Companion, Chelsea? Maybe? Oh, I hope I said that right. She is doing the typography also, and she's going to do it in Etoile fabric, or threads, which are the new kind of soft, sparkly threads by DMC. And that's a brilliant idea. I would totally rip mine out and start over with those if I wasn't trying to make this kind of a model stitch and use the original call for color. So anyways, those are both some two great ideas I saw recently. So that's fun. I guess the first thing I can show is my regular stitching on Monday or Tuesday, because I filmed on Tuesday last week. So you've already seen my Monday work from last week. So I had one more day on my the Cross Stitch Studio Mystery Wildlife Sal, and this is the mock-up on Pattern Keeper. And yeah, so that's all we know so far, and this looked like a lot of confetti but also not a lot of anything. So for now I'm not stitching the background. I'm just gonna kind of stick with this for now and wait and see, add this later if I feel like it's necessary. I did not get even that little section done because there's just a lot of confetti. But I got another day on this. I got 4 days on this for the 4 different prompts that I had chosen it for in the Full Coverage Fanatics bingo. My brain. It's Monday, so I don't remember what I was doing. Yeah, I guess I do it on this side. So my whip parade, I was over here and I was all kind of mixed up, and I wasn't sure why it was like that, but this is the side I usually use. So this is where I got to, only marginally different than last time because I did only one more day and it's just a lot of confetti, but there was a lot more like little bits of dark in here that I added. I think there's even some like 3 or 4 stitches of 310 in there. So this is on 32 count 1/1 half crosses, and it's like a gray-green, slightly mottled fabric. So if I don't have to stitch the background, I'd prefer this in the background. So we'll have to wait and see what that background looks like. Like, for example, something I thought of was it could be part of a moon. Like you have an animal in front of a moon and it's like the corner of the moon or something. If that was the case, yes, I would go back and stitch it. But if it's just a random yellow splotchy background, then no, I'm not gonna stitch it. So for now, this is still a full coverage project for the sake of the Full Coverage Fanatics groups, but if enough of the project comes out that I decide I don't want the background, then I'll take it out of future challenges in the Full Coverage Fanatics group. So that's as far as I got on that one. Then I went over and worked on my son's piece, Visit Endor by Country Magic Stitch. And this is a nice, simple, but effective project. There's only 11 colors, so everything is nice and big blocks of color. I'm doing it in half stitches, so it just flows. It goes really, really fast, really nice. I ended up getting, it's not as easy to see my stitch count on here. My new setup here. Oh, I did my letter fairy before, but anyways, I'll show that in a minute. I got 184 stitches on one day, 247 stitches the next day, and then 83 stitches on a final day because I worked on it Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday I was planning to work on Iris all day, and normally Iris is the piece I work on just a little bit and then I work on my focus piece. So on Saturday it was kind of flopped. I worked on my Endor for just a little bit to finish a goal I had set in a group to get 500 stitches. I stitched a little bit for that, and then the rest of the day was on Iris. So that was kind of a fun twist. So here's that one. So this is a little over 500 stitches. And this is on 28 count Dove Gray Monaco, and it's a 2/1 half stitch, which is the called for DMC. And I finished the Death Star. So the Death Star is 100% finished, and it's 3 different colors of DMC. I did one more line of the sky as well, and then that got me to 500. So I did 2 more. I had previously finished the darkest color, and then this time I did the medium and light colors in the Death Star, and then one more line of sky, and that got me to 500. So that's exciting. Next time I work on this, I'll be just doing background for a while. The sky and the trees to keep working down. That's a fun one. So I do have a general goal for all of my pieces in Pattern Keeper to get 500 stitches or 1,000 stitches before the end of the year. This one is not in Pattern Keeper, but I am counting it usually. So my non-Pattern Keeper pieces, I think I have a general goal of 2 days of work, which this one has now qualified for. So technically I wouldn't need to bring it out anymore, but since it's such a easy piece and there's certain things that it just works for, you'll probably see it again. So, and it's January, anything could happen. So my letter fairy that I had started this one is the letter L, and these are by Nora Corbett. I'm doing one for each of my nieces, and I did have somebody ask a question if I'm duplicating any of the letters, and I will be doing that a little bit. I have one more niece with the letter E, so the one I just finished, I'll be stitching that again, but I'll change the color, so I won't do the same exact color conversion next time. I'll do a different set of colors, and so I will be doing the E one more time, and I'll be doing the S for one of my nieces. I stitched this one for myself, and that's right here. So I'll do this again for one of my nieces. I'll be using the same green fabric I'm doing all the other niece ones on, so that by itself will be different, but I'll probably also change some of the colors just to make it different and unique for that particular niece. So those are the only duplicates. All the rest are unique. So this one I pulled some colors. This one will have she's gonna have a pink dress, and she likes purple as well, so I put the fill-in color is kind of a purpley color. That's this one. That's Highlands by Color and Cotton. So I got a great start on this. I'm really happy with my start. I still have some thread on my needle, but I got to a good stopping point for a group that I had been counting for, and decided just to stop because the day was over and I had other stitching to get to. So this is my start on letter L Fairy. This is on 32 count water lily linen, which is the called for fabric, and it is a see-through kind of stiff linen, but when it's framed, it looks great. So I'm sorry if you can hear my son in the background. He's being very loud. But I started here on her knee because the center was like right here. And so I did her leg, and then I came up and did her arm and moved all the way up to her face. And then I did her hair, and then I was able to backstitch her skin and start in on her dress. So that's super exciting. It looks really great already. So her skin is all the way done already. And I'm really excited about this one. It looks a little bit more simple than the E was. The E was kind of involved. Even the S one I think was less stitching than the E. So this one will be nice. If I can get it done before the end of the year and get a head start on the next one, that'd be really, really nice. So super happy with that. That was a nice one-day start. Good progress for one day. Then I moved on to my iris, which got great progress this week because I worked on it for about 65 stitches every day, and then also a whole bunch on Saturday for being my focus piece for that day. So this is Quick Stitch Iris by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I will be hopefully finishing it this year. So this is where I got to this week, and this is on 25 count 1/1 full crosses, and I think I am working from the top down, picking colors. So I think I got some dark blue in here. I filled in some of this green, filled in some gray. I filled in some of this like tan color. There's some things in here, I think. Some down here. I don't know. There's little bits all over the place. I think I was about 800 stitches for the week. So that's decent. So happy with that. That will get about 65 stitches a day, not counting today, this coming week, because Mondays are now Mill Hill Mondays. So I'll be working on my Mill Hill this week. Working on that today. And I discovered I had been just tagging along with Charlene over at Witchy Stitchers because she does Mill Hill Mondays, and that sounded fun. So I thought I want to do that too. And then she made a comment on one of her recent videos about a group. So I'm like, oh, is there an actual group? Because that'd be cool too. And so I guess there is a group on Facebook called Mill Hill Mondays. So I joined. Charlene sent me an invitation to that group. It's probably public, so you could probably go find it if you just type in Mill Hill Mondays. But that'll be fun to see other people's progress too. So if you are interested in tagging along, feel free to go hop over there and join the group. So the next thing I worked on yesterday was not for bingo in full coverage fanatics. It was just for fun to do this for my family piece for this month for my mom. And I got a decent, I think I needed to get at least 300 stitches, and I got that. I think I did 350. It's a golden kite, and I'm working this on 22 count 2/1 half stitches. So that's where I got to this week, just yesterday. And if you can tell, I picked a color right here that was a peachy color, and which looks like it's her neck, and then I filled it in here also in her arm, And I did a little bit here in her finger, and I just kept going with the color. I pulled a second string just to finish it up. So that color was down here in her hand too, and now it's done. I don't have any more of that color. And then I think there was one dot of it over here in the cat's face too. So that color, I color completed the peach, and then I came over here and filled in some brown because it was kind of bugging me to have this, just have the little patchy, that was all one color. I just filled that in. So that's how I got my 350 stitches. So I'm enjoying that. That came along nicely. And that'll come back out next month. And I think that's everything I worked on this week. So I'll share now what I'll be working on this week. So since it is Mill Hill Monday, I'll be going back to my Mill Hill. This is Buttons and Beads, Winged Monarch. And I'm gonna do a different Buttons and Beads kits for each month and trade them out in a frame. So this one I think is gonna be for May. And here is where I'm at right now. And so I'll work on another color in the flowers. I may go and keep working on these purple ones and do another shade of purple. These ones had a slightly different tone. Yeah, these ones are pinker. So I might keep working on the purple flowers just to keep going and then do the pink ones later. They had the same base burgundy color, like on all four as the shadow, but then the purple changes the rest of the shades from the pink ones. So that was kind of interesting. So I'll keep working on the purple flowers. And since it's just that much stitching, I'll probably do color complete, whatever color I choose next. That kind of, so far with that amount of stitching, seems to be working pretty nicely to have a good stopping point on a Monday. So what I will be working on all week this week is the Stitching Shelf by Heaven and Earth Designs, an Amy Stewart pattern. This is the max color version, but it is regular size, not super size. So it is 725 by 518, plenty big. But I have put this in for 7 squares on the bingo board in Full Coverage Fanatics that we have. And I've marked off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already. So that's good. I'm doing a non-counting blackout is my goal. So each item each prompt fits a project, but I'm not counting a specific number. Like their goal, if you count, is 1,000 stitches per thing. 2,000 if you can't meet the prompt, but I am meeting the prompt for everything, but I'm not counting and trying to get all of them done. I'm doing 1 day per block. So that's kind of my goal. It's just 1 day. So this one has so many things in it that it works for a lot of projects or a lot of prompts. So I figured it worked out great to just pick it for 7 different prompts and work on it for an entire week. So I'm going to do before and afters of the whole thing and each individual chunk where I am anticipating that I will be working. I'm not exactly sure where the red was I was going to be doing, but so I don't know if I'll. So this is the entire project. Yeah, I think you got everything there. And so I can do a before and after of all of it. And then the first one is a hot beverage. So I'll be working on this scene because she has some wine right here. That's the only beverage in any of my full coverage pieces because my tea and books is not full coverage if I'm not stitching the background. So that's wine. So I'm going to say that's mulled wine, which is a hot beverage. I'm also using this scene for another group for a prompt needing something that was like a vacation because she's got wine and there's hot air balloons in the back. And so that seemed very much like a vacation. So I'm hoping to get, I believe, 300 stitches on this scene. So I will work on the wine and I will work on the hot air balloons to kind of go with those prompts. So that's what I'll work on today. And that is over here on the end of the top row. So I'll do a before of this where it's a little closer up for you so we can have a before and after. And then the next one is design with words or books. And I didn't actually pick a specific book. There's one over here. Oh, here, A Stitch in Time, right in the middle. There's this one above her has the words A Stitch in Time right here. And so I will, another prompt that I'm choosing this for, you get a bonus, you know, entry, I guess, if you stitch on something with stitch on the actual words in addition to something that has words in it. And so I'm going to stitch on this for the full coverage fanatics bingo in words or books, but I'm also going to stitch on this for that other prompt because there's letters right here. So I will try to make sure you can see that. And where is this? You can't really see that, because that's right in the middle there underneath. That's this section, but you can't really, that's this book right here. But you can't really see any words, but I'll maybe put in some confetti in there just to kind of show that that's where the words are. Maybe it shows up better once it's stitched, but that's kind of like the probably the difference between super size and regular size is, even though I'm doing max color, you probably still can't get super detailed for some of those things. If I find another section, none of the words are super big, so that might be my best one. So I'll do some of that. And if not, at the very least, I'll keep working on those book spines right there in the middle. And this is 28 count mushroom, no, 28 count tea-dyed Monaco, 2/1 half stitches. The next one is something with words or dog, or with wolves or dogs. And I have a dog started right here. So I'll just keep working on that dog, I think. Get him some more attention. He's right here in this part of the design. And then the next chunk will be design with doors. And up here at the beginning, this is complicated. There's some doors right here. So I will be working on this section up here at the beginning with all these parked threads. So I might actually work in some of those parked threads while I'm at it, but I'll definitely work on some of the door, which is right there. And then design, let's see, winter scene if I live in the Northern Hemisphere. So that's way down here. I don't have a whole lot of winter finished or started, but I was thinking of working on the snowman, which is on this corner. So it will be over here somewhere. So I'll count down from that book above it to try to get over there to work on the snowman scene, because I would like to also work on, for the next one, there's a prompt called Evergreen Trees, which will be in the same area because there's some Christmas trees right next to the snowman. So this is the snowman in the corner, and then there's some Christmas trees right behind him. So I'll work on the snowman. I don't know where exactly. I think this right here is this burgundy part right here. So I'll probably have to do some stitching to get from here, you know, over. Maybe I'll come over here and go down this book and then over the snow to get into this area. So that's kind of what I'll do on that day, is I'll kind of fill in some of that area. And the last one is red DMC floss colors, and I chose 321, and I can't remember where it is So I looked it up on Pattern Keeper, and there's two places where I might be filling in the 321 as a red. And that's over here, again, by the balloon scene, and then again down here by this strip of burgundy. There's some more, there's 321 next to that book spine as well. So on the page, it's in this area, those bright books right there, and then along this book as well. So at the very least, I'll get some in there, and I need, I think I am kind of making a rough goal for each day's prompt. The first two, I set 300 stitches, or no, maybe 200. I think I have a rough goal for each day to have at least 200 stitches. So we'll kind of see how that goes. So maybe 200 stitches of 321 in there. So anyways, I think that was everything that I need to film. I thought it would be easier, since this piece is so big, to give before and afters of each chunk. Yeah, so that it's easier to see what I actually did, because when it's so far back, you can't see the specific stitches. So that's gonna be fun. I'm hoping I will have a decent enough time to work on this in the evenings to be able to see progress on all of those things. And it will be nice to get a little closer to, this corner to see how far over the design goes, because maybe I can cut off some fabric. That could be nice to have a slightly smaller piece here, because it is a lot of extra on the bottom. At the least, I could cut off some of that, and then maybe if I could cut off some on the far side, that would be nice too. All right, so a few little extra things here at the end. I thought I would share kind of my planning process for the year, not specific plans, but just because sometimes people like to see that, what I'm actually using to keep track of stuff. And so this year I got this journal from Ann P for my birthday, so I thought, well, I have to use this. This is a little different than what I have been using, because this has month at a glance and week at a glance chunks. So what I've been doing is, for the month at a glance, I'm doing what I was doing before and writing in the plans that I have made and what is for which prompt and things like that. But then on the week at a glance pages, I'm writing in what I actually do and then the stitch counts that I accomplish on those days. And I'm also writing in like the days that I film. So that's kind of recorded too, which I never recorded before. I also have, they had this page in here, which is like an every day of there's months along the top and days along the side. And so I'm writing in on my 21,021 challenge in Full Coverage Fanatics. This is stitches for my iris. So that's all in one place. So I can kind of add it up as I go. I didn't stitch on it at all on the first, but this is all of my progress so far on that. And when I finish with iris, I'll keep working on this for with the waterfall piece. So at the bottom here, in this bottom margin, I'll probably tally it up and like add it all up and put the totals down there. So that's kind of what I'm doing this year. And this has a little a ribbon in it, so I'm keeping that at this page. And then I have a paper clip to help me stay where I need to be for my prompts and then my current week. So I'll be switching the paper clip now that I've finished filming and put it over here onto this day. The one thing I don't like is they have it starting on Sunday, which is typical to have your calendar start on Sunday, but for Flosstube, I'd film on Monday, so it'd be nice to have it starting on Monday, but that's not that important. So this is kind of helps me know, like, helps me keep the 2 pages in here that I'm accessing a lot readily available. And then I have this silk bookmark for for this one. So that's what I'm doing this year. And then if I need to count stitches, Pattern Keeper counts for any patterns that are in there. And then this is my old school way of counting other things, where I have like a tally boxes where I can have 10 tally marks in each little box, which I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 100, 200, 300. So this is kind of an easy way to like roughly count as I'm stitching, and then I can add it up later without having too much trouble. So I made this in Excel. And so that's kind of how I keep track of things. If I don't have to count for something, I won't. But for a lot of the challenges that I'm in, there's a lot of them are stitch count like goals. So most of the projects, it kind of depends. If I have a project that I really don't want to count on, I'll just be more picky about which challenge to use it for, because then I won't have to count for certain things. I'll make a different goal for myself. Instead of stitches, have it be sections, and then I can have a challenge of finish this section, and then that will work for some prompts. Okay, so I think that's everything. I'm really looking forward to this week to work a little bit on my Mill Hill butterfly today, and then the iris a little bit every day throughout the rest of the week, and then get my stitching shelf out each evening and try to put in a little chunk all over to get more progress on that. That'll be really fun to see what happens after 7 days. So hopefully I can stick to that and get 7 different areas worked on throughout the week. So stay tuned. One final note that's more sad for all you cinnamon lovers out there. She unfortunately has passed away overnight. So she is no longer with us. She was 18, so we had her 17. She was 17. We've been married 18 years. We got her when we've been married a little over 1 year. So she was 17, and a really fun, friendly, not super friendly to other people, kind of impersonal actually to other people, but for us, she was a friendly companion for a lot of years, and we've had her longer than we've had our kids. So it is a little bit sad, but I know that she was struggling health-wise towards the end, so I'm glad she's done suffering, and we have lots of happy memories with her. So I'll put a few pictures here at the end, including one that I have in my wallet from pre-digital camera days of when she was a kitten, because she's older than my oldest digital camera, if that tells you anything. So I have an actual, film camera picture of when she was a kitten, and then a few other pictures along the way I'll throw in here to kind of commemorate that. And then going forward, I do want to make my High Hopes pattern that I showed in my whip parade this weekend a memorial piece. So I'll put in cinnamon 2003 to 2021. So that's the plan. And it's been fun sharing her with you when she would come in here and try to be a star as well. So, and see your reactions to some of that. So I had to share that as well. But all is well, and we'll move on and we'll enjoy our stitching. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and happy stitching. Bye.